Hello, everybody. Welcome to my stream. I am Yep. Tonight, I'm going to be joined once again on the co-cast chair with Mr. Tyro. And tonight's matchup is going to be some top-tier NGS play with Storm Division. We have Team Name Change versus DG. And so, just to kind of give you guys a quick overlay of what we're looking at tonight. The games tonight are going to be, the game one's going to be on Infernal Shrines, which was the pick for Team Name Change. DG won the coin flip, so they opted for the first hero pick. Game two is going to be Cursed Hollow, and then for anybody curious about those map bans, we have map bans for Towers of Doom and Tomb of the Spider Queen. And thank you for that cheer, Satat Hots. Because everyone deserves a dime. True story, bro. True story. But thank you. So yeah, with that said, Tyro, say hello.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
And so let me double check, make sure everybody's ready, and we'll try and get these games going now. I can't type today, apparently. Alright, so we're waiting for the ready up from everybody. You know, I'm looking forward to some good NGS action tonight. Good old Saturday night, nothing better to do than cast some games. So we got everybody ready, and so we're going to be just getting right into these games. No big, long, drawn-out talk this evening.
I'm super excited for this, though. Both Team Name Change and DG are sitting in the top 5 of Storm Division. So I want to see a lot of meta play and a lot of why it's meta coming out.
Yeah, I mean, you can see a lot of different things, like Infernal Shrines. You know, you could be seeing some potential Abathur play. You could be seeing, you know, I've seen some cheeky Abathur Illidan's. I mean, you could be seeing like Medivh. You know, I kind of feel like support-wise, we should be looking out for maybe like Tyrans. We should be looking out for Whitemanes. DG actually going right out the gate and banning Diablo, which isn't a horrible ban, just because of the fact that his combo is really good here. You know, you can wall bang someone, flip, and then wall bang right again.
Yeah, reasonable bans. I expect to see a lot of meta bans. Honestly, I would like to see Hammer play today.
And then Phoenix being banned as well. So Team Name Change opting not to deal with the Phoenix, which isn't a bad call, just based on some of the homework that I've done about these teams. Maiev actually being banned, so sorry, David, aka Netball, you are not getting your Maiev. Oh, we got some people in here. Hi, Divine Fate.
I like the confidence that DG is banning with. The ban comes to them, and in 3 seconds, the ban is out.
Yeah, they
Giving
seem
Team Name Change no time to think.
Yeah, they seem kind of prepared to get some bans out. Alex Straza, which was actually one of the things I did pick up. The Team Name Change did some of their homework and opted to just ban that Alex. And then DG picking up the Genji. So I'm curious, are we going to see a Whiteman? Are we going to see an Asmodan? He's out on the table still. Hammer, I guess you could say, but at the same time, it's like they would have to. Well, they could probably pick up Hammer now, and then ban Garrosh. Or not even.
Yeah, Hammer's easy to deal with. You could pick up Junkrat, you could pick up Artanis, and just deal with the Hammer. So she's like more of a late pick these days.
All right, so we have. So we have the Jaina Deckard coming out for Team Name Change, which is, I kind of really do like it. Deckard can provide some slows. Jaina's like slow city. Murs Steve being picked up by DG, which he's pretty good. It's also shout out to the tank for TNC. Definitely one of Hunter Siege's go-tos. And then he picked up the Toronto. So they definitely have some CC coming out there already.
You can already start to tell what each team is going for. Team Name Change pulling the Deckard Jaina, going for that massive wombo combo with Sleep plus Ring. While DG says, we're just going to dive your Jaina. We're going to dive your Deckard. We don't care about your wombo. We're going to kill him before they can.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, there's still some, good tanks on the table. I mean, Garrosh isn't banned. Joanna isn't banned. So we're likely to see one of those come out. Um, let's see what the ban is going to be here. Yeah, and they opted to ban the Garrosh. That's a pretty targeted ban. I kind of feel like Garrosh would have been more of a headache for DG versus the Joanna. So
Absolutely. When you're running that dive, the last thing you want to do is be tossed back further than what you wanted to go.
Especially, when he gets that unstoppable, you can just move in and then just flip like a Durand or a Squishy. So they're opting for good old Jimmy Rayner and Joanna, which Joanna still isn't she's not a bad pick in the slightest. She's by far like one of the beefiest, if not the beefiest tank in the game, and she has the capacity to make some good plays.
I like the zone control coming out from team name change, especially for the points on Infernal.
Yeah.
We're gonna see a Urel and a Cassia.
All right, so I kind of like this. Urel strong in the solo lane. We're gonna actually see Sonya being picked up, most likely by Nem Avenger, who's their solo laner. And so yeah, so this Cassia here, I kind of feel like the way I'm looking at it right now, if Murden gets a stun or Tyrande, and Cassia and Genji are just going to annihilate whoever's stunned. Which it could be unfortunate for the likes of Deckard or Jaina or Rayner or well, a lot of the team name change backline there.
I feel like DG has drafted a more technical composition where they have to make very few flaws to pull it off. But if they can, they're going to be able to just, like you said, delete that one or two heroes in an instant. And at that point, TNC is going to have to pull back.
Yeah, I'm definitely. Let's see how it plays out, though. I mean, I kind of feel like I'm expecting to see some kind of a leap Sonya here, especially if because she has a good leap with that kind of like if there's like some good roots from Deckard, slows from Jaina, and then there's a leap, definitely potential there as well. So, but this is some very top tier Storm Division NGS play that we're looking at right here now. As Tyro said earlier, these guys respectively are in the top 5 of the top division in NGS, and so I am expecting some killer plays here.
Yeah, it'll either be a bloodbath or essentially no kills at all. I'm hoping for the former though. Bloodbath is always fun to watch.
Yeah, those tend to be the more exciting ones. Instead of the slow paced back and forth. Kind of like the old StarCraft. Heart of the Swarm days where it took like 8 minutes just to see anything useful.
Both players turtle to the extreme.
Yeah, right.
I've got my 200 army now. Nah.
All right,
I don't think
so
that'll be the case.
We're getting into the game here. So here we are on our first game, Infernal Shrines, in a Storm Div game, team name change versus DG, and representing team name change on the left side as the blue team, we're going to be having Hunter CJ on the Joanna, Nem Avenger on the Sonya. We're going to have Satat on the Deckard Cain, Netball 11 on the Jimmy Rayner, and Metball 11 on the Jaina.
And in red, DG, we're going to have DTM Go on Murden, Diggy on Cassia, the Sigia on Urel, Roendel on Tyrande, and Archaic on Genji.
Yeah, right now we see Urel going off into that top lane. Not even dealing with mid, just trying to go for that quick soak. We actually have some bush placement here by DTM Goat. And, pretty clean. Team name change is most likely opting just to safely get those waves super fast and just rotate like they're doing now. Urel actually having a little bit of that quicker start on the top lane, but then Avenger is there to make amends.
That's a rough lane for Sonya. Urel wins that hard until about level 4 when Sonya can take Whirlwind.
Yeah, for sure. And then so this is we're going to see a lot of back and forth here on this map. The Condemn being used in turn with the Blizzard just to secure the that wave and just safely rotate, safely get that soak. And already we have Metball going in, starting that camp up, which isn't a bad call. Just try to put that little bit of extra pressure out there.
I like the awareness from DG knowing that if they also try to pull the 4-man rotate, they're likely to get caught out and killed, and so they just put Genji alone down there by himself and tell him to soak the lane, and he's doing a good job.
Well, yeah. I mean, definitely not a bad call there. They're just opting to try and play it safe, not necessarily looking to get picked out. And but at the same time, it's relatively safe back and forth. The most damage I've seen done onto a hero thus far is Netball, and he's already pretty well back up. Them Avenger and this Gla, or however you pronounce it, they're kind of going back and forth up there. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, the Sigia. Yeah, it's mostly going to be them ignoring each other and killing each other's waves.
All right, and then we have level 4 talents online for everybody.
As expected, Sonya did go Hurricane for the cooldown on her Whirlwind. It's going to help her sustain in lane against your Ellen. It's basically just going to become an even lane now.
Yeah, and then we also, obviously we're going to see Ace in the Hole from Jimmy at level 1, just simply because of the fact that, there's a lot of slows on that team from Team Name Change, and so the later the game goes, I'm expecting to see Jimmy's damage numbers just climb.
Absolutely. He does have to be careful because Genji, Cassia, Tehran, Muradin, they can dive on top of him in a heartbeat.
Well, yeah, I'd agree. That's why I kind of, during the draft, it looks like that's what they're exactly looking for. They're looking for those stuns and just being able to blow up somebody out of the fight. And here we go. The excitement's starting to start, going for the shrines, and, right now Team Name Change is working on hurdling those little guardians out there. Hunter using the condemn, trying to, zone out a little bit. DTM go actually a little bit low, having to use Dwarf Toss to get out. Deckard barely missing the root there. Right now Cassie trying to do some work there. Another nice, beautiful condemn. DTM go rooted, and then Sonya there. Murden might go down, managing to get away. Joanna's actually starting to get a little bit low herself. Oh, right there, double kill. Their front line for Team Name Change no longer exists.
That was a beautiful play from Tisigia, getting in the back line and making sure that they couldn't get away.
Then you're all diving in right after that stun. Yeah, so right now, if I was Team Name Change, I'd just be working to get behind that wall, trying to clear. And then we have Sonya up there going to the top lane, trying to soak. And so, Joanna on her way back down. And we have John Cena himself deciding to jump over the wall there.
As expected, Jaina, Raynor just going to clear this thing in a heartbeat. It's gone.
Yeah, relatively clean defense there. They lost a little bit of fort health. They lost their tower. They lost both their towers. They lost their gate. But other than that, relatively clean for Team Name Change. They're not far behind experience at all.
No, this game's definitely close.
But that definitely just goes to show the power of that composition that they had. Because 1 second, Team Name Change was on the cusp of getting the first few picks of the game, and then it turned right around in favor of DG.
Yeah, absolutely. I do enjoy DG's draft. I hope they can pull it off, because if they can, it's such a fun draft to watch.
However, I do feel like mid-game is definitely going to be very good for Team Name Change. You're most likely going to see Water Ellie coming out of the Jaina. You could see Hyperion here, maybe. I doubt it. Most likely it's going to be the Raider. To stay a while. So a lot of actually Yrel getting picked off there. Genji coming up there. The assist in there, and so Sonya actually goes down.
Excellent rotation from DG, knowing what's needed when. Good communication from the players. A little bit of a skirmish here in middle, just trading some damage. Both tanks are going to be fine from this.
Yeah, and they're cleaning up the mid-siege camp there. nothing uber crazy going on right now. 10s are about to be coming online though. Genji actually working on getting in that back line towards the Deckard. Murden getting in his stun. Tron following it up. We have Sonya working on trying to finish up that bruiser camp. And then Jimmy Rayner actually in the top lane. Just trying to soak against that Urel while Sonya's busy securing the camp.
Heads up, Tyrande already has 16 staff.
Oh, this isn't good. Nem Avenger's in trouble. They're going to have to give up that bruiser camp that he just worked so hard to do. Feels bad, man. But that's actually, that's great map awareness from DG. Just, you see it right there.
At the same time, Genji ended up using his Dragon Blade. So they're going to be down an ulti in this upcoming fight.
It is, you're right, it is down. And just kind of get a look at what everyone's level 10 is. You know, like I said, Water Elemental, that's what I was expecting. Raiders, you're going to have Blessed Shield from the Joe. We're going to have Stay a While. And we're actually going to have Wrath of the Berserker when I was actually expecting a leap.
I get the Wrath. I mean, you've got Muradin stun. You've got Urel stun, Tyrande stun. You got to have some way to get out from all that. And
actually, right now, they're opting to let Team Name Change start this up and, you know, secure some of those first ones. Stun coming out on the Joanna. You're all waiting to charge in.
Team Name Change moving in full here. DG deciding they actually want to stay and take this fight without the Genji ultimate.
Yeah, we actually have Ball Lightning being used. It's spread across the whole team. Stay on, listen, coming in. Ardent Defender, Rayner goes down. Nem Avenger possibly in trouble here. He goes down. And there's that powerful CC we were talking about before. Jaina's actually in trouble. I'm not expecting her to survive this.
No.
Iron Skin being used on the Joe just to barely get away. And it's just... Team Name Change actually got those guys all relatively low. I feel like they shouldn't be discouraged just yet. Because that was, that was relatively close in terms, like, at the grand scheme of things.
So one issue that they're actually facing right now is you have Calderai resistance from that Tyrande, just making Jaina basically a nothing in all of these fights.
Yeah. And the Punisher actually jumping over, they're working on trying to get a clean defense. That fort's definitely going down, though. That's what I would expect. Cassie trying to jump in there. It's actually a significant route, but there was no follow-up. Iron Skin being used so the Joe can get away. Did her job. Wrath being called in. Whirlwind being used. And actually, we have Cassie going down. Genji trying to charge out Joanna. And actually, is Water Elemental going to finish him off? And Genji's next to go. Nem Avenger, I like that initiating there. He actually scared away both the tanks and the Tyrande. And, if I was Team Name Change right now, I'd be happy with that. They saved their fort as well.
Yeah, that was a good defense by Team Name Change. I feel like DG got a little bit greedy walking past that fort to try to secure kills. They should have taken what they could get and then left.
Yeah. I feel like they definitely gave away more than they needed to. But still, for the moment, they still have 13s up compared to TNC being a little bit behind in that regard. Team Name Change opting to get the bottom siege camp now. They took their siege camp. They're taking the bot one. I wouldn't be surprised to see DG working on getting their siege camp, just because it's the only thing really left on the board after that. And then we should see Nem Avengers starting to rotate up at some point, trying to clear that bruiser camp. And actually, we're going to see Jaina and the Sonya going up.
That's a good call. You have to clear it quick, and you already know that DG is going to commit to clearing 2 camps.
And now we have, looks like Muradin was potentially looking to get some kind of a play there. That Rainer's Raider, though, is actually being used for some good vision. Nice micromanagement there by Netball 11.
They're rotating hard for this defend, but we have Siege pushing top. If TNC is not careful,
and actually
this is gonna be 2 forts.
Wrath is actually being called in as well. Blessed Shield being used, though. Genji's going down super fast. Ball Lightning being used. Stay a while and listen on the Murden. A lot of ultimates were just used in that span. Actually, TNC burned most of them. Cassie is next to go. So right now, effectively, the damage of DG's dead.
Yeah. Now TNC's just going to come in and clean this up. Be lickety split about it, and they're going to put pressure on the bottom for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him just because at the moment, you know, both bottom fort, both mid fort are really low, and they need to make some. They need to make up some kind of structure, you know, damage, trying to get back up. We have Sony up in the top lane trying to get that a little bit. So Rainier opting to stay mid, and yeah, just like that, you know, TNC is on par in the experience with the DG. So.
Yep. This shrine could not have come at a better time for DG though. Deckard's ultimate is still on cooldown for another 20 seconds, and the shrine spawns in 6. So
yeah.
they're gonna have to play without it for about 10 seconds.
Yeah, but if you look right here, team name change is opting to back up. They're waiting for Rainer and Sonny to finish that camp, and now they're getting ready to come in. And now if you look, Stay a While is back up, so it kind of played out in favor. I mean, they still have plenty of time to get in there and make a play. And there we go. There we have. We have Joanna up there in the front. Genji in that top bush there.
DG opting to just try to get a surround on TNC here.
Actually, the back line there was potentially dangerous there. And actually, right now, we actually have Ball Lightning being used. Stay a while and listen. Cassie is in a bit of trouble. Ardent Defender being used. Cassie goes down. Sonya is next to go. Hunter CJ may be in trouble, though, too. Deckard's barely staying alive. That Urel's in trouble, though. Goes down. Iron Skin being used. Tyrande goes down, so literally Murd and Genji's left. And we should see DG giving this up right here.
We're starting to see Raynor come online and just pump out damage. You saw him there just turn and fight that Tyrande and win that fight. Not really too surprising. Raynor versus Tyrande is always going to lean in favor of Raynor. But the ability just to walk in the team and do that is really well played by Netball.
Yeah, so there we go. We actually have the first Punisher online for team name change. We're going to push it in that bot fort, and that fort should easily be forfeit. TNC should be picking that up. And actually, top fort is down too as well for DG, so TNC will actually have a bit of a structural advantage here. 76% left on the Punisher, and so they're looking to get a key ball out of this.
Yeah, that Punisher is very healthy, and there's already a wall on the side down. Really well played.
I mean, that's one of the things you want to do out the gate is trying to destroy that side wall just because so you can try to rotate. However, Urel's a little bit out of the Blessed Shield being used to secure the Urel kill, which actually isn't a bad choice. They can actually opt here to push for keep now, especially with Cassie going down. This is going to be a keep here. Stay on listen being used on the Tyrande.
DG needs to be really careful not to lose more heroes at this point.
Yeah, I feel like if Tyrande goes down right now, that they're in trouble. I mean, I feel like TNC can even still push for game here. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. Murden having the Dwarf Toss to get away, and they're focusing their damage on the core.
Percent damage starting to take effect.
And then there's the Punisher as well.
And 50%. Looks like this is going to be game.
Yeah, this is definitely going game one team name change here versus DG. And there we go. There we have it. GG's being called out. And just like that, when you think that a team has an advantage in the snap of the finger, it's gone.
Yeah, TNC played very well from behind, came back and won the game.
Yeah, and if we look here, you know, just looking at stats in general, you know, there was relatively back and forth for a long time. You know, it was 9 kills to 8 kills. You know, and just from looking at here, just looking at stats, you know, we see Jimmy with that damage slowly spiking up. Jaina actually securing most of the kills for team name change, which is to be expected. And then that Genji actually securing most of the kills for DG, but it was really well played. I feel like DG shouldn't be discouraged. I feel like they just lost their fight at the wrong time, and it kind of made them suffer for it. And then kind of when that Urel was kind of out of position and TNC abused it. I feel like that's kind of where they slipped. But yeah, so let's work on getting into game number 2, guys. It's going to be on Cursed Hollow. So stand by while we get this lobby going. And what about you? What do you guys think in their Twitch chat? Tell me what you guys thought of that game. All right, so. All right. All right, so we're just getting everybody in here. Now, Cursed Hollow. This is just gonna be an overall interesting map. I mean, it's one of the biggest maps in the game in terms of distance for lanes. The tributes are RNG, the random. But there, there's some, definitely some heroes that you could be expecting to look. I mean, Abathur is definitely one I would expect to see banned or picked up. Globals, definitely come into play. I would definitely expect to see like a Dahaka ban or a Dahaka pickup. And then if you see an Abathur, you might even see some kind of cheeky Illidan play with that. So, like, what are your thoughts?
I think it's important to note that Infernal Shrines was TNC's map, and that Cursed Hollow, in almost its entirety, is a different type of game. And so in Cursed Hollow, you want to get that split soak almost no matter what, even at the cost of giving up 1 or 2 tributes. I expect to see DG having a plan for this and executing it to the best of their abilities.
Yeah, definitely a close game from game 1 though, and yeah, just I'm kind of expecting to see also maybe like some kind of poke comps. Like Thrall wouldn't be bad here. Some kind of mage like maybe that Jaina again. Generally something in the backline with range that you just kind of poke. And, stall the tribute, especially if you like you're kind of behind in getting there. Definitely some kind of solid beefy front line. I wouldn't. You could see Diablo here, obviously. Murd and Garrosh would be great here, especially if he has a good flip right into a powerful backline that can just annihilate them.
Yeah, I'd love to see a Junkrat. I'm a big fan of Junkrat play.
And then I have Naewyn here in the chat saying it was a painful throw to see. True story. True story. It was painful. Alright, so we got everybody in lobby. I'm just seeing if they're ready, and then we'll get into this game number 2 on Cursed Hollow.
Yep, I've got to agree with you from earlier. I feel like game 1 was extremely close, and DG just lost the wrong fight. That they lost the wrong heroes at the wrong spot, and that's what cost the game.
Well, yeah, I felt like when that Urel was at a position and she got picked off, that was kind of like that wasn't the beginning of the end, but it wasn't good. And then we saw that wasn't Tehran, it was someone else that got caught out. I think it was
Cassia.
Yeah, Cassie. Cassie got rooted and then jumped on by the Punisher. So with those two gone, that was kind of almost the beginning of the end. Or actually, in this case, it was the beginning. It was the end. But those 2 picks right there were just real crucial because I felt like if they all stayed alive and they were all behind the wall, they would have been able to clean that up. Maybe they would have lost a keep, but they would have been able to retain their core. And so I really do feel like that little instance there just made them lose the game. And other than that, it was just real close game, real solid plays for the most part. And then so we got everybody ready. And I'm going to start the lobby up now, and here we go. Game number 2 between Team Name Change and DG, and just give a shout out for everybody coming out to watch tonight. I'm hitting that go-go button, Zatch. And here we go, Cursed Hollow. All right, so let's see what's going to be coming up here. See what kind of bands. Like I said, I'm expecting some kind of globals, maybe some respect bands. I mean, I kind of feel like some of the bands that came out from uh, DG last game were respect bands, especially like that Garage, the Maiev. All right, so this map is actually going to be team name change is hero pick. This is the map pick for DG. So let's see if DG can win their map.
Absolutely. Mostly, I'd like to see bands stay right about the same. I
And
feel like both teams did their homework and they know what the other team is good at.
yeah, and right out the gate, Phoenix being banned, and then Maiev being banned from DG. So let's see what kind of ban we're gonna see here. Is it gonna be? I think TNC banned the Haka. I'm not 100% sure. I think they banned the Haka though from the first game.
I think they banned Alex for their second
Oh, wait.
ban.
Was it Alex? I think it was Alex. I know Alex was a ban. I just can't remember if it was like the second or third ban. And then here, Genji being banned, and you know, I kind of feel that's pretty commendable. Man, Genji did put in some work on that team last game, so. Now I kind of feel like is Diablo going to be banned again? I feel like this would be a good map for that kind of a ban, as well. And there we go. Dibbles is gone.
Yeah, same bands from DG. I like it. I like their confidence. And just as expected, Dahaka insta-popped.
Yeah, like I said, this is definitely one of those maps where you like having a global presence does mean a lot, and Dahaka is very good at it. And so there we go, Dahaka being locked in out the gate from team name change.
I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I feel like Dahaka is undisputedly the strongest hero on this map.
And he does have, you know, most of the globals are pretty dominant. However, we have Abathur and Muradin coming from DG. Do I smell some cheekiness about? Even though this is at one of Abathur's really like probably was like one of his best maps, if not the best map.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the pickup. I love the confidence. I'd like to see what they want to run with it, but it's hard for me to argue against Dahaka. You know me, I am a solo laner, and I know his strength.
Then we have Deckard Greymane coming out for team name change. I mean, I kind of like the Greymane. You know, we haven't really seen squishies yet, so it's kind of like preemptive. But Greymane's not bad here. I like Deckard. They had some good stay a whiles from game. I'd kind of like to see, like, I'm trying to think of some potential clone targets that they wouldn't want to deal with, like Hanzo maybe, Cassia again, Joe actually being banned here, so they don't want to deal with Johanna. You know, so that there's a couple opportunities for TNC to pick up some tanks. Probably going to be looking at a garage pick, just because out of the four main tanks that you'd expect to see, that's about the only one left on the table.
Yeah, at the same time, you've got Dahaka, you've got Deckard. Stitches could be a nasty pick.
Stitches could have his place here. You're not wrong. Jaina actually getting banned from team name change opting to ban it this time, which shows they did their homework as well, because DG does seem to enjoy some Jaina play. And let's see here. We have Tyrande again being picked up, and then Cassia. And this is kind of where I reveal the homework I did for DG. And a lot of the games DG have played, they have picked up a Cassia. So, not surprised to see her again. And I feel like they're really going for that composition to win for last game. I think DG realized as well that game was a lot closer than it looked, even though TNC won it. And so, I'm not surprised to see a similar comp again. Abathur as well. We'll add just that additional attack speed and healing. And TNC going for that garage like I was expecting with that really ugly skin. And then Li Ming. Now I feel like that they need somebody like a strong lane clear. Opting for Chen. I smell some cheekiness afloat.
Chen, definitely an odd pick here.
Well, here's kind of my logic in the cheekiness, right? Because Chen already can just stand in one spot and just have heals for days. And then you have Abathur. And then you have attack speed. So, like, Chen can just bounce around. And he has that potential.
We'll have to see. It's definitely a unique comp from DG. I don't know if it'll work. Well, TNC is definitely taking something that's extremely standard, very easy and comfortable to play around. I'm not a huge fan of Greymane right now. He's not doing well in HGC, and there's a good reason why.
Well, I mean, Greymane doesn't even have tons of targets at the moment. I mean, he has Tron and he has Cassia. And if Chen's, like, stunned and really low. So I'm not 100% sure about the quick Greymane. However, the Li Ming was a good pickup there. I feel like if Garrosh can get those, like, pivotal flips, you know, you ain't gonna, it'd be a waste to really flip Muradin. So if you're really looking at Cassia flip, you're looking at Tron flip, you know, those are, like, your two ideal targets if I was playing Garrosh that I'd be trying to look for.
Absolutely. And Cassia wants to run in. She wants to dive to do all that damage, and that's whenever Garrosh is going to find his moments.
All right, here we
to see it taken advantage of.
You're not wrong. All right, so here we go. In game number 2 in this Storm Division matchup for this Saturday evening, we're going to have on the left-hand side, representing the blue team, team name change. And on the Garrosh tonight, we are going to have Hunter CJ. On the Greymane, we're going to have Netball 11. On the Li Ming, Metball 11. Satet on the Deckard Keen. And then Nem Avenger on the Dahaka.
And in red, we have DG, with DTM Goat playing Muradin, Thesigia playing Chen, Archaic playing Cassia, Rowendeln playing Tyrande, and Diggy playing Abathur. Something to note, last game we had Archaic on the Genji and not the Cassia. Someone else playing the Cassia.
Yeah, Archaic is on the Cassia this game. And, yeah, based on my homework, I'm not, you know, they seem to have him and another player play Cassia, so I'm not surprised at all to see that. So right now we actually have Metball 11 in the top lane against Abathur. And then Dahaka Chen in the bot lane, so they're doing a 1-3-1, which actually isn't too bad. Abathur in the top lane body soaking, and very similar from DG. That 1-3-1 setup.
Yeah, this is not a surprise at all. But
and we're actually having Chen's going to be going to do that siege camp, and Muradin going down to soak. And team name change actually hasn't gone to do the camp yet, and which is kind of confusing because that's actually really good timing for that camp. Yeah, but they're actually opting to get the bruiser camp instead, which actually isn't a bad play as well. Put some mid pressure up.
I especially understand the play because tribute spawns top first. And so if they take the siege camp, that's just going to be a very easy clear for DG as they hold that tribute spot.
Yeah, you do have a point there, so TNT opting to put some mid pressure up. Chen's still working on that siege camp. He's almost got it, though. He's going to get it now. I feel like Team Name Change will be able to clear that up relatively easy. Especially with the Haka there, because all he has to do is clean it up and then just bush stalk in. Ming Tron going a little bit back and forth there. And we actually have a decent push coming out from TNC on this mid lane.
Yeah, DG did not commit their resources to clearing this in time, and they're going to lose a wall because of it. Or at least part of a wall.
Yeah, they lost their tower. That gate should go down, but it's not down yet. And yeah, it does go down now. Yeah, and just even there, you know, Abathur has a really good hat target in Muradin as well. You know, so he'd be right there in the front line, choke this some down. Siege camp actually just finished being picked off, and Chen actually getting dragged into the towers there. A little bit of back and forth action for that push stalk in. Muradin lined up, looking to get a stun perhaps, and then he gets it on the Deckard. Nem Avenger there, or not Nem Avenger, Hunter CJ there to be right there for his healer.
There is a slight numbers advantage approaching the shrine for DG. We're gonna have to see Dahaka rotate soon. Unless Chen just chooses not to rotate.
Yeah, at the moment, Chen is just opting to stay there. I think he was trying to soak really quick, and he's on his way now. Cassie and Chen potentially looking to invade the back line. And I think, here's what I think. I think they're waiting for an engage to happen, and then Dahaka's going to push stalk in. That's exactly what I think is going to happen.
Quite possibly, but the engage is coming in now. We have Muradin, Cassia, and Tehran going on Garrosh.
Yeah, and
TNC just backs up.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about in general, though, with the poke comp. Like, with Li Ming, she could just sit there and poke for days and days and days. And that, I think that's why Nem Avengers is staying down there longer. They're playing the stall game. They're gonna try and get their 7. They're gonna try and get their 7s on the line, and then they're gonna try and probably make a play. That's why Nem Avengers slowly going up to mid. Chen actually a little bit low, having to drink some brew.
I like the dominance and the power hungry pickup from Metball 11 on that Li Ming, giving a lot of sustain in fights.
Yeah, and actually already Cassia being forced to back up, and Nem Avengers there now, and I feel like this is going to be going over the team name change here. Oh, and actually that flip from Hunter CJ prevented the capture, and then he's actually pretty low too. However, Ton coming in on the Murd, and he goes out. So this should go to TNC. And then we have Slapather just chilling down there, soaking bot lane.
Yeah, this is just the power of Abathur. If that Tehran doesn't die there, DG has a clear XP lead going in. But the death makes things a little bit more even, and
yeah,
Metball just pouring the damage on that top wall.
Yeah, we should also, at the same time, it also kind of makes sense a little bit more as why the Dahaka opted to not bush stalk in sooner, because he was trying to make up for that soak that otherwise would have lost. And so good. I like the thinking there from team name change to keep him there until he was absolutely needed. And we actually have the Chibi being spawned closer towards TNC's side now. Bot left. Deckard actually potentially in trouble though. Netball there to help him out on the Grey Mane. A flip coming out on that Chen. He actually got chunked down relatively low, but that, Abathur hands right there, a little bit of a shield as well.
And Metball's channels immediately gets interrupted by Muradin. Muradin tossed back in by Garrosh. DG's coming in trying to.
I feel like this Garrosh is in trouble.
Garrosh falls. Grey Mane
and he's
going to
go down, however, the Tehran goes down. Muradin might be next to go.
Low.
DG's actually giving this up. Nem Avenger coming in at that right exact moment that he needed. And they're actually still up in experience. So the first two tributes going in favor of team name change. Definitely they should probably focus on getting some mid soak just because it's a little bit pushed out. And well played so far.
I feel like level 10 is going to be a bit more kind to team name change. We see the Cursed Bullet. I kind of expected that against the Muradin, who's likely going to be going Avatar. Muradin does go Avatar.
Yeah. And then, we also have, like, the stay a while, typical stuff. We actually have Isolation from the Dahaka. We have Disintegrate from the Li Ming. And, of course, a Warlord's Challenge from the Garrosh.
I feel like TNC is in a very good position here.
Yeah, and DG working on trying to get this Bruiser camp done real fast for the objective. They have time to do it. They'll get it done.
Who is Abathur clone?
We could see potentially a Chen clone. We could see a Cassia clone. I kind of would expect to see a Chen clone just because they can just kind of jump around and be a hassle. And it's definitely the most sustaining hero.
Curse bullet used on the chin.
No, we actually have a really powerful orb, and actually right now, taunt coming in, flip being used, dwarf toss being used to stay on that back line. Actually, stay a while and listen being used, however, barrel is coming out, and Met Ball going down. And actually,
we did have the clone used on Muradin, so there are 2 beef out there.
yeah, and right now, DG saying, no, guys, you're not getting cursed. Thanks for this tribute. And so, as we see, the Greymane just trying to work on clearing up this bruiser. Actually, bot lane being pushed up by Siege Camp as well. And so I feel like this is where we start kind of seeing the Abathur come online. Boss actually getting started up by DG. Team name change is going to not just give it to them, though, and they're getting ready. They're posturing up for it.
Yeah, I felt like this was a very risk play for DG. The cooldowns are still very short on deaths.
Yeah, and the taunt coming in. Disintegrate being used. Shen barely getting away with his life. We have a burrow coming in. Essence being used. Cassie's the first one to go down. Abathur's in position, though, for that curse. He's there.
It's not for another 12 seconds, though. There's no way that TNC allows him to have that.
Is he really gonna just chill in the bush? Alright, no. So he's getting ready to go back. It looks like he's going top lane. He just opted to escape. And so he did. Goat's there, ready to stun whoever. I would maybe see a dwarf toss come in. Yeah. Cancel out again. However, Merlin getting blown up real fast. And that's why. And that's the use where Greymane comes in. If, there's some good stuns in CC, Greymane can easily just put out some quick damage. So, it's kind of a niche pick, and we saw it kind of do its thing.
I'm kind of surprised there. There's a bit of miscommunication with Dwarf Toss going in at the same time that... Oh, Abathur falls top to the Daka. Daka's in a bad position, though. I don't know if he can escape from this.
At the same time, though, he's just buying more and more time for TNC at bot lane. Because look at how many heroes are investing into this versus this big fat push that they're making up here. Yeah, I mean, they're working on trying to kill this keep. And they've managed to get to the Haka. But at what cost? Like, they're already just on that keep already. 16 seconds and change left on the map. They're going to stay on listen being used just to try and keep it going. And the keep goes down. Great play for team name change. Grush having to use his unstoppable to try to get away. He's dead, so he's just taunting the enemy team so they can get away. Great pickup. So not only did they get every fort on the map, they got a keep.
Deckard's in a lot of trouble. Oh, he is dead.
Yeah, however, DG saying, hey, you may have gotten a keep, but we're not out yet. A tongue being used on the chin, but them Avengers going to be...
He's dead.
Them Avenger regretted that decision real fast. And DG's going to steal the boss of team name change, and there's nothing to really do about it. So, are we going to be seeing a keep for keep trade here? I kind of feel like it was... Like, if they defend the boss... Even so, I feel like if they defend the boss... and they don't lose the keep, I still feel like they got the better trade at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just because
the keep is worth a lot.
Yeah, because they got the keep. They still have a decent XP advantage, and so they'll get their 16s on the line shortly. And right now they're already postured up for boss coming. Siege Camp pushing up top lane. So I really feel like it's really one of those defense moments. If TNC botches this defense, it could be game, and vice versa. I feel like if DG botches this, it could spell trouble as well. It's any man's game right now.
Clone?
Yeah, Abathur on the...
DG wants this push. Here comes Avatar Muradin. He's going on the Deckard, pushing them back.
However, we got a stun and CC being used. Trying to have to throw in her stun just to save. Stay a while listen being used. However, barrel being used, which actually is a relatively good counter, I guess, to the Deckard. Disintegrate being used in act, yeah, right there, so... DTM actually in trouble, being taunted! And he goes down, so TNC kept their keep. They got a pick. That was as good as they can get. And they're looking for blood right now.
They're gonna find it. They've got Dahaka, they've got Garrosh.
Oh, missed tongue though. However, are we gonna have? It looks like Toronto is rooted. She's next to go.
And Cassie has stayed around way too long. That is going to be game most likely. TNC not opting to push bottom.
Well, the reason why is because there's two reasons. A, their wave's really pushed out right now. B, granted they have their DPS down, but mostly it's because the wave isn't pushed out. They, you know what I mean? But they're opting to do the safe play, which is just blow up the enemy boss, get the tribute. Because at the moment, there's nothing that DG can do about this boss.
No, it's an absolute trade.
And so I'd expect to be seeing a keep push here by team name change. While bot lane just does its natural thing over time because of the catapults.
We've got a super early Abathur clone on the Cassia, and that is not going to see any use at all.
And right now, boss working on chunking down that keep wall. However, TNC wasn't up there with it for a while. And so I feel like it's not going to get nearly as much as one could expect.
It'll barely get
the tongue coming in on the chin, the stun coming up, the barrel being used, but he's not going to be able to get away. Stay on, listen being used, Valkyrie being used, but no follow-up. And right now, this is trouble for DG. Abathur and Muradin running for their sweet lives, and a full team wipe. This is going to be game right here for team name change. They're just skipping the keep. They're going straight for the core. And team name change coming out swinging strong in this series tonight, and a domination against DG.
Yeah. Very entertaining game. I feel like TNC had the better draft straight out in the second game, where in the first game it seemed really even. For me, TNC took control of game 2 at the very beginning and never let go of it.
Yeah. I feel like just the variation in the comp of DG was it was so vastly different that it was just really different. I mean, I kind of feel like at the same time, Cursed Hollow does have that slight-ish potential to be snowbally, depending. I kind of feel like that pickup that TNC got, that really early keep, because they literally bypassed the fort on that curse and went straight for keep. They bypassed the fort. And then just from there, it was just crazy. But we do have the captain of team name change standing by for an interview. So let's work on getting him in there. So stand by, guys. All right, so let's go meet Mr. Meatball for an interview. Hey.
Hello.
Hey, Meatball, welcome. Congratulations on that domination on DG. Just some very interesting games. I'll open up with game 1 on Infernal Shrines. It kind of seemed like you guys are definitely going blow for blow, and for a while it seemed like DG had the upper hand. It just seemed like they had a very minute slip up that you guys just pulled apart and won the game with. So, what were kind of your thoughts when you saw that draft, and just kind of the way things were playing out early on, and what you guys decide to do to kind of try and mix it up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's obvious they did a lot of research into us in terms of their bands picks. But, we've been branching out in what we generally play now. So we pretty much just voided all those target bans, and anything they wanted to draft that game, we already kind of had a plan to how to counter that. We also, the only reason why, I don't want to say the only, but they played very well, but we kind of screwed ourselves early game in terms of we had a strong level 10 where we pretty much would win every fight, and we were just positioning weird and just kind of like a rough start of the game. But after like we got 10 and we actually got where we wanted to be as a team comp, we just
Yeah.
completely we were able to control the game at that point, and we just threw everything in our favor. It was honestly, the games were really controlled. Like, we knew what everything we were doing.
Yeah.
For other games recently where like Nem has like the stomach flu and like a cold, and he sounds like he probably has the flu on top of that. Been pretty out of commission. And you know, the other factors have been kind of like halting our play for like the last week, but we're finally picking things up again, and it feels pretty good. And I don't even think we're at our full potential. Sorry.
Yeah, like one of the things that I'd probably agree with you on, and something I did mention during the cast was your comp in game one. My exact comment, more or less, was that you guys are definitely going to get a significant power up mid game, and that's kind of where things started changing around for you. But even then, I'm gonna have to give some respect out to DG. They landed some. They landed some great CC on you guys, and for a second I was like, wow. So yeah, kind of going into. I'll give you one more question, and I'll pass it to my co-caster for some questions for you. But in game two, what was kind of like? Because I was kind of a little thrown off by their draft. I mean, at least the Chen. So, like, kind of like, what were you guys thinking when you guys kind of saw that ultimately?
Much knew that they were going to draft something of the sort. So to be honest with you, like, we were for like knowing what we were going to verse. The Abathur kind of came out of left field, but we already had the Haka. We had the pick priority on them in terms of, hey, we're able to pick Greymane here, ban Jaina, and then what kind of really good clone targets do they have? And I think that's really kind of what messed them up that game, is their clone targets were like a little iffy.
Well, yeah, for the most part, the majority of the clone was Murden.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a really good clone. Like, Murden's a good clone in general, depending on situations, but like compared to like a Jaina, it's a lot less effective for like most situations. So yeah, we already knew like what we were gonna run, what they were gonna run, and we played the map pretty well. Like, our whole pretty much one of our early calls was just like, look at their wave clear and look at ours. They picked an early Abathur. Let's just, where can we push? When can we push? What timers? And we just played play by play, and slowly it was building more in our favor every single time.
Yeah, for sure. And what about you, Tyro? I assume you have some questions for Mr. Meatball here.
Yeah, I got a couple questions. First one is, were you surprised when they allowed Dahaka through for first pick on Cursed Hollow over, say, allowing Maev or allowing Diablo through?
Kind of, because a big thing that a lot of teams do, like, this is this is generally what a lot of teams do, is they leave Dahaka and Abathur open, so they pick the remainder. But just because of how pick priority went, like, we were more comfortable with Dahaka. And actually, we didn't even know they played Abathur, to be honest with you. But we knew that they played Dahaka, so we're just like, we're just gonna take it. And then how pick priority went, we were able to like easily pick like Greymane and then ban a Jaina, like I said earlier, just because it denies that Abathur and the most value that it can get, and we were able to really just punish it. That's kind of why, like, we're like, okay, if we leave Dahaka open, they take Abathur, we have pick priority, let's just go from there. That was kind of like the thoughts on that. Yeah, it was kind of expected they would probably leave Dahaka open.
Yeah. Alright, so I just gotta throw in a little bit of PJ Salt for you, Meatball, and Hunter CJ said, I wish you would have interviewed the carry. Hunter CJ.
Alright. Things happen, Hunter. Alright, yeah, good job, Hunter. I'll give you that. You get a nice thumbs up.
Ooh, the gold star from Meatball himself. All right, well, Tyro, do you happen to have any other follow-up questions there for you?
I actually do not. It was really clean, really straightforward play.
All right.
Nothing too surprising at all the entire time.
So, Mr. Meatball, do you happen to have any shout-outs you'd like to give before we end your interview?
Yeah. First, most importantly, thank you. Casting has been really tight in terms of how many people have. There's so many games going right now, and I really appreciate you guys casting our game, sharing, co-casting it together, and this whole thing is honestly a pleasure. Like, we look forward to cast every single week and every single game. So thank you to both of you. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank everyone for watching. I know there's a lot of people from both sides kind of watching and seeing what's happening. So I really do appreciate, everyone coming in and watching. Thank you to the team as well. I know we had like a little rough patch this first half of the week because of, from, different players. But we're coming together much better. And by next open, I know we're going to be for sure. And I'll give 2 more shout outs because Hunter, I'll give you the shout out. Hunter, our tank player, I don't know if you know, he streams a lot. His Twitch is twitch.tv/HunterCJR. I'm going to say it like that. But he's an awesome guy, great personality. He's a Talents Productions and look, so check him out. And final shout out to my friend Eliza. You watch all our games, so thank you very much. That's all the shout outs I got.
Awesome. And so thank you for the interview, Meatball. And good games tonight. They were very fun to cast, and look forward to seeing our team name change fairs coming up in these playoffs that aren't so far away.
Yeah. Catch you guys later.
All right, see it. All right, so there we go, guys. We had the interview with team name change with Meatball as their captain coming in. Just to kind of reverberate, I guess I'll throw in a little bit of some 2 cents for Hunter CJ. Even I'd rather have you guys watch my stream, but at the same time, Hunter CJ is a really cool dude. He's also happens to be my coach for my particular role for my team, and I'm the tank main for my team. So it's been fun working with Hunter and having him help me go over some stuff. And so yeah, if you guys are ever wanting to watch some good tank play and just hang out and chill, by all means, go watch them. And my other shout-outs, thank you for everybody coming out to watch tonight. Thank you, Satat, again, for the bits donation. You're the very first guy to ever do so since I made affiliate, so appreciate it. Much love. You'll forever be remembered. And, just shout-out to NGS. I've had a lot of fun casting these games. And then, last but not least, to my co-caster Tyro for coming up and meeting me again for another good cast. And that's all I gotta say. Anything for you to end with, Mr. Tyro?
Yeah, just thanks to NGS. I love the casting. I like being able to do it, and NGS has been a wonderful platform.
All right, so with that said, guys, the stream is about to end. Thank you for coming out, and tomorrow, for anybody that is just here for the love of NGS, I will be streaming a Div E game tomorrow evening. If you give me a second, I'll be able to tell you exactly what team. I will be doing Save the Murloc versus Luciodology tomorrow night with a different co-caster. So if you guys want to just come out and hang out and have some fun and listen to some casts, I'll be there as well. But until then, I will see you later. Have a good night, everyone.